Well, why don't I just share my screen here? Just hang on here. So I'm making like super progress. Can you actually see my see my screen there? I kind of might have similar presentation snafus there, but can you see my model slide there?
Yep.
Okay, and I just lost everyone on the screen here, so bear with me. Oh, I don't know where you guys went. Uh, there we go. Um, Yeah, just like I want to come to a very precise and simple understanding with what I'm doing. I've been testing things out, and the difference between an assertion and attestation. And the conclusion I come to is that we might be using, or I've been using assertions slightly in the wrong way. And I think everything on Nostr events are all attestations, period. So coming back to the previous example, like yeah, the moon is made of cheese. That evidence is that the 1969 Apollo mission confirmed this fact. They brought cheese back from the moon. That's total, I mean, total crap. But the thing is that this is like a rumor. This is a claim. There's some evidence to that claim. And, I can assert that the moon is made of cheese. It becomes an attestation when I actually sign a statement with my NPub that says that the moon is made of cheese, and it becomes an attestation. I've witnessed it. I put my name to it. Um, and so, a attestation is really a signed assertion. And I think it's a pretty simple ontology at the end of the day. And you can have signed assertions about events that have occurred or a claim about the state of the world. You could have evidence to support that. But at the end of the day, an actor, an entity, whether it's a AI or a person or a doctor or whatever, they've signed, they put their name to the event. And basically what I've concluded is there's really two fundamental kind of attestations. One is that I can have what I call like a first order attestation. I can make a claim, make an attestation that the moon is made of cheese. Okay. And then David can come along and say, well, that event that Tim claimed, I'm going to back that up. So I'm going to witness that. So I'm starting to call that like a second order attestation. And then there's another attestation where I can say, well, Tim is a good guy. Tim he's been to the moon several times along with Apollo missions. I agree with what Tim is saying. And so I'm going to make a statement about his character or whatever. So I think I've boiled it down to that simple model. I'm still distilling it. So what we call, like the net of it is what we call a trusted assertion might actually more accurately be a trusted attestation. So I'll just kind of leave that terminology on the side. I think
Call a trusted
um,
assertion
oh,
might actually more accurately be a trusted attestation. So I'll just kind of leave that terminology on the.
okay, I just had a bit of a delay there. So anyway, I'm just struggling with that and I'm experimenting with that practically, how that is playing out. Here we go. I'm trying to enumerate this in my own um, service with my own safe box is a very discrete and concrete and computationally like unequivocal steps. And I've come up with like kind of 5 steps with some sub steps, an event I've generalized into a record is cryptographically valid. Just do all the signatures check out. The big advance that I've done over the past few weeks is that I've got original records associated with it now. So basically, I've integrated Blossom into my safe box. So not only can you have a record and offer that record, you can actually upload a PDF. It gets encrypted and everything like that, and then offer that to an individual. and all the digests and that are basically computed and validated. So that's a step one validation. Step two, self-presented. The record that I went to, is it coming back from the same Safebox? The Safebox, has its own identity. It's a first-class citizen. But there's an independent event where an owner, whoever that might be, can do an independent attestation 31871. That's Nathan's NIP, to see if that Safebox is indeed controlled by the proper individual. Step four, I'm starting to call it recognition, recognized. Like, okay, we know the owner, but is that owner actually recognized in terms of they are part of a trust list, a root list, or whatever, or are they part of a list of doctors, or part of a list of favorite, favorite doctors, something like that. Right now, I'm just implementing that as a kind three follow list, but I want to look at the decentralized lists. And then step five is basically the web of trust scores. And again, I've got like a configuration where I can just point it to an npub that is actually providing, I would say, trusted attestations or trusted assertions. Like, it's giving me a score about something. That score is as good as, I have as much confidence in that score as the moon being made of cheese. It's based on something that's coming outside of the system, so to speak. The information might be coming from inside the system. That is, like, it's looking at events and everything like that. But what's outside of the system is the scoring algorithm or the intention of the code, whoever developed it. They put their own judgment calls into that. That stuff is outside of the system. Yeah, it might be able to be enumerated in code, but it actually originates from outside of the system. So that's kind of like the 5-step process that I'm trying to nail down for the use case of issuing and accepting a health record. I do have, I'll just wrap up rather than go through manually. I don't know if this is going to work, but I actually have, oh, can you hear the audio? Hey, can you hear the audio? Okay,
Yes.
I'll just let this run through. It's a couple minutes.
Oh, sorry, not the video audio. We can hear
Oh,
you
you can hear me, but not the audio from the video.
from the video, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll dispense with the demonstration. I'll keep that later. But I've got now the ability to issue original records, and they can land in someone else's safe box, like it could be an X-ray or something like that. And yeah, anyway, and the um, the record gets transmitted, it gets evaluated against the Web of Trust, and so now I have like a capability, like I feel like I have 100% of the capability I need to issue any original record, provide some attestations around that this is good, this is coming from me, blah 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 blah. I can transmit that to an individual so that they'll hold the record, and then they can actually present that record to someone else, and they can confirm that the record is totally the same. It's just the digest, and then look at all the metadata around that, and then actually do a Web of Trust evaluation. So I'll just leave it at that. So pardon, I'm really bad at my I didn't practice any any like didn't do any rehearsal, but I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of where I'm at. And now I don't know where the damn unshare screen is. Yeah, something's happening here. I don't know. John, can you kick me out to stop sharing?
Let me see.
My Zoom client
Yeah.
disappeared. Okay, there we go. I'm back now. Okay. Yeah, so a bit scattered my presentation, but the thing is that just cutting edge, trying to simplify that model. As I said, I don't see any difference between a quote unquote signed assertion and attestation. and versus a claim or a rumor. I really like the concept of a rumor that was formalized in NIP 59, where it's like an event that has no attribution, and I think that's pretty cool. And I think, I'm just trying to combine all that stuff. So I'll leave it at that. Oh, can you hear me still?
Awesome. Yeah. No, thanks
Okay,
for the
okay.
updates.